Am I the asshole for purposefully ordering meat items so I don't have to share with my vegetarian friend? I have a friend who is a vegetarian and very entitled. She believes that her money is hers, and my money is ours. I love sharing food with friends. I eat almost exclusively family style, but I hate sharing food with this friend because she doesn't share food with me. To avoid confrontation, I have started exclusively ordering meat items whenever we eat together. Recently, we went out to eat and I ordered chili cheese fries and I added steak. My friend interjected and asked if we could get the steak on the side so we could share. The waiter was like sure, and I kind of just stared blankly, silently fuming. But then when the fries came, I immediately dumped all the steak on the fries and started mixing. She was like, wait, and I said, oh, oops, sorry, and continued eating. She said she would have ordered more food if we weren't sharing, and I said, well then order it. But she didn't because she was trying to save money. She ate her sad salad and kind of passive-aggressively said, man, I wish I had some fries with this too. I ignored the tone and just responded cheerily, you should get some, they're good. Hopefully she gets the hint soon. Edited, okay, I'm sick of saying this, but this person does not respond well to criticism. Friends have tried and failed to bring up issues about money with this person before. It does not end well. I am prioritizing my own mental health over being mature and doing the right thing. Go watch an after-school special. How do I add a flare? No more advice, Pulez. This is event-relevant comments. Comment, genuine question. Has anyone ever expressed that it annoys them when she does this? Sometimes people don't realize they're being annoying. If you haven't already, I would try to set the boundary that you don't mind sharing food if she also shares food. Tell her that you understand she needs to save money, but that it doesn't mean that you can afford her to keep eating your food too. If she doesn't take it well, that's a sign to distance yourself. If she apologizes and works on it, it could be genuine ignorance. OOP. Yes, there have been multiple attempts at boundary setting in the past, all the way from when we were little. That is when I learned that most people would rather keep the peace by placating the dramatic person rather than hold the dramatic person accountable. She is manipulative. There was a whole issue at prom where she didn't pay her share for the limo. The kid who did would not let her on. She cried. The kid's parents felt bad and covered for her, made the kid apologize. She always has a sob story. She's always the victim. I have even offered her to apply for a job in the past where I work, as a busser, because I too thought she just needed help. BC again, she's manipulative. Before my eyes were opened. She said to my face, I could never bus tables. Is there a host position open? This isn't her only thing. She is manipulative and selfish in every single way. Some people see it, some people don't. And until everyone sees it, I'm not going to be the hero that calls her out on it. Update. My post blew up and lots of people asked for an update. Nothing too interesting happened until last week, so here it goes. TLDR of last post. Mooch vegetarian friend who likes to steal food but doesn't like to share keeps stealing my food, so I purposefully order meat items to not share. Update. Long story short, I'm no longer friends with Mooch. Another instance happened that was the catalyst for me. But I didn't make a dramatic show of anything. I just slowly stopped going on outings where Mooch was invited. All of my friends seemed to think Mooch isn't that bad, so they weren't really wanting to ice her out for me, which is totally understandable. But unfortunately I stopped hanging out with most of my friends. That is until last week. My friends had planned a short spring break trip to Mexico. I didn't go because Mooch was invited. I even warned them that Mooch was going to make it miserable, but no one listened to me. And shocker to everyone except for me, the trip was awful. She didn't pay for a single thing. She still owes people her portion of the Airbnb and gas money for the drive. Additionally, she had a sour mood anytime plans didn't go her way. Example, group wants to go to the markets, Mooch wants to go to rent a boat, majority rules they go to market, Mooch has a giant frown and makes sure everyone is aware she is having a bad time. One night, everyone went clubbing. She got tired and wanted to go home. No one wanted to go with her. She was waiting around with her giant frown, clearly wanting someone to leave with her so she didn't have to pay for the Uber. She finally orders an Uber for herself. After the Uber arrives, two girls decide they are actually tired too, so they take the Uber with her. She had the audacity to Venmo request them money for the Uber after having not paid for anything else the entire trip. And one of the girls she Venmo requests was the one that paid for the Airbnb that she still had not paid her back for. For the record, everyone else took turns paying for Ubers. No one Venmo requested each other for that. This was the first and only Uber Mooch ever paid for. That girl immediately starts a group chat with a couple of people on the trip and me with my favorite thing to hear, OMG OP, you were right. Then I got to sit back and just watch as everyone vomited to me about everything terrible that happened on the trip. So it sounds like these 5 people plus me are done with her. Not sure how the rest of the group feels, but at least I have 5 people I can hang out with regularly again. Top comments. Comment 1, clearly you've never had a long-term toxic friend or relationship before, because you'd know how hard these habits are to break. They've known each other since childhood and it's hard to set boundaries with someone like this when they are repeatedly broken. Plus she never said that not going on that trip made her miserable. Quite the opposite actually. Also, did you ever consider that OP might be the one with money problems? Maybe, just maybe, she doesn't want to hang out with someone who thinks OP's money is also hers. OP. It's not even the money problems, even though yes, that's at the forefront. It's that she expects everyone to serve her and cater to her feelings all the time. She wants final decision making for all activities while not paying. It's the fact that I have to drive her everywhere, but I'm also not allowed to leave until she's ready. Like fuck, if not wanting to spend time with her makes me mean, I'd rather be mean than continue being a doormat. Comment 2. Karma is a dish best served with meat if you asked me. I'm glad they all woke up. I hope she's lonely with her sad salads. The incident that made OOP cut off the friendship thanks to you/yes go away for finding this comment. I was her ride to a group activity. Right before I was about to leave, my mom decided to pick a fight with me about my room being a mess. When my mom and I fight, she can be kind of mean, so I was sobbing. And my friends know this. I texted my friends that I couldn't come anymore because my mom grounded me. Mooch said, "But you were my ride." And I asked the group if someone else can pick her up. Everyone else lives kind of far and no one wants to go out of their way to pick Mooch up. She calls me and asks that if I can't come hang out, can I at least come pick her up, drop her off at the hangout location and then pick her up again at the end of the night. She even said, "I feel like your mom would understand you made the commitment to drive me." I just said no, and to her credit she accepted it and then ended with, "Well, that sucks, I hope you feel better." BC, she can tell I've been crying. That was just the final straw for me. Now to the next story, story 2. After 12 years together, my fiance's ex-fling sends a bizarre package, stirring up old wounds, passive-aggressive friends, and fresh drama. Original post, first post ever, woo, mandatory apologies for my English. Details and places muddled, just in case. Well, the title says it all. My fiance, Oliver, and I have been together for 12 years, stuck together through thick and thin. LDR, the usual problems of a couple starting off very young, etc. In the last few years, he has been struggling a lot with depression, anxiety, but he is slowly getting better. At some point in our LDR we were living in 2 separate countries, and during his stay he became very good friends with 2 other people, Ben and Sarah. The 3 of them bonded through shared experiences, same mental health issues, etc. At some point he came back, we started living together, eventually became engaged, we decided on a long engagement 2+ years, since we were both settled on long academic paths. Our relationship, that had at some points been turbulent, settled very well as we both acquired maturity and got to really know each other during our daily lives, things were peachy. 3 years ago, Sarah moved closer to where we lived, for a 2-year stay. We were all good friends, everything good, etc. Long story short, my fiance cheated on me with her, short before she left the country, an emotional affair included. Found it by snooping, bad on me. I was devastated. I cut contact with her immediately, demanded him to do the same, and almost broke up with him. We were separated for 2 months. It was rough because at that time I had no access to therapy or counseling, and I was really far away from home, but my friends were kick-ass and supported me emotionally all that time. After these 2 months and a lot of soul-searching, we took the first tentative steps to be together again. It took me a long time to forgive him and to recover my trust in him, but little by little we healed and we made it work again. This was 2 years ago, and things are really good. Ben did not take the news of their separation too kindly, and he has been passive-aggressive to Oliver about him not talking to Sarah. Oliver has reacted well, and has been adamant about not contacting him again. 2 weeks ago, Ben told fiancé that he had given our new address to Sarah, because she wanted to send us a package with stuff belonging to Oliver. He says that she has nothing of him, and I believe it, they have never lived together, most of their friendship they have been living in different places. He has been really anxious about all this matter, he does not want any contact with her. I personally do not care about her, but he is dreading the day the package arrives. If it comes when I'm in the house, I will just throw it away, but I do not want him to receive it and get an anxiety attack. So, relationships, what is your advice? I know I do not have to protect my fiancé from this stuff, but he is hurting and I do want to support him. I do not think it is compromising material, because I already found the compromising material, well. I think it is a passive-aggressive way of reminding us of her existence. And what shall we do with his friend Ben? TL.dr, 2 years ago, my fiancé cheated. After some time, I took him back and we are strong now, but the other girl is sending us a mystery package. Fiancé is not taking it well. OOP added more info in the comments. Hi everybody. Oh my, this blew up. Thank you for all the good advice, it has been really helpful to clear my thoughts. I left out some details that might be relevant, here they are. I do not think the package contains proof or details I still do not know. When she was living in the same country as us, she was still 600 kilometers away, so there were not really any chances to meet without me knowing, I know when it happened. Later, she moved to another continent. At that time I demanded 1, access to all his accounts, he complied, and 2, that he blocked her everywhere. He did it too and I believe him, because when she actually tried to contact us later, about Ben, I will elaborate later, she had to do it through common friends. His anxious reaction does not surprise me, he used to have very serious issues with social anxiety, to the point of being paralyzed about any kind of unpleasant interaction. He has been working on his mental issues, got in therapy and meds, etc., and now is much better. He reacted maturely to the latest developments, he told me immediately, and he understands that it is his mess to clean, but he suffered. Today I picked up a huge package, taller than a person, from a neighbor, and when he went through the door and when he saw it he really tensed up. Okay, that was kind of funny in a fucked up way. This might be pretty relevant too, but I kind of understated Ben's reaction. He did not take well at all, his 2 best friends not talking anymore. As I said, the 3 of them were a very close group, but he in particular had a magical vision of the trio, being friends forever. He was into Sarah a lot, and spent hours talking to my fiancé about how much he loved her. I have the feeling that Ben is into my fiancé as well. When my fiancé told him that he and Sarah did not talk anymore, and why, Ben seemed to take it okay. But 2 weeks later he contacted her to say he was about to self-harm. That's why she contacted us. We contacted Ben's family. He was okay. Fiancé set boundaries with him but did not cut him off completely. I am starting to think that Ben's reason to give her our address is his particular way of punishing my fiancé for leaving the magical trio. My personal feelings. All this drama has been annoying AF. The general advice of /relationship seems to be to cut off Ben, and I think it is spot on. I will tell Oliver that I think it is the best idea. He is on the fence about it. About the cursed package. Personally, I lean towards throwing it away without opening. I do not want to have anything to do with that dweeb. However, you are right, it is not my decision to make. If when it comes, I will offer him the choice either to throw it away or to go through the contents together and probably toss them away afterwards. Thank you. Update. So, I know this is ancient history, but we got an update, and I have several private messages asking me for an update if something happened. So yes, we got the package, last week, and it did not disappoint. Editor's note, OOP recap of the first post, I edited it out. After reading the advice here, I sat down with him, we decided we did not want the fucking thing, so he wrote a message to Ben saying tell Sarah we do not want anything from her. And then he blocked him. This all happened last year. Meanwhile, life went on. He changed jobs, he is still in academy, and now he is way more happy and relaxed. My job is well paid and interesting, and I can keep some other projects on the side. We got married this summer, and our wedding was perfect for us. Lively, bombastic, lots of food and alcohol, and our friends and family together. It was expensive but we did not give a damn. This month, my husband is on a conference trip in another continent, so I am home alone. When I arrived home in the evening, there was a package addressed to him in the mailbox, with a stamp from a place where I know she lived, and a sender we don't know. I thought for a moment, oh my, this may be her, but then I thought that it would be pretty crazy of her to send it now. That night, I was Skyping with my husband, and made a comment about the parcel. I mentioned the name of the sender, and he did not know the name. So I proposed that I open it with him on camera. And well, turns out I was right on the money. It contained several postcards, wishing him happy birthdays and Merry Christmases, all unsigned. Also little notes such as dance in the rain, look at the clouds, walk barefoot, that kind of platitudes. And it had a book, a young adult romance book. I remember saying aloud, oh for fuck's sake, when I saw it. Meanwhile, my husband had a face like he had seen a cockroach in his sandwich. The title of the novel is Stargirl. It is about a girl who arrives at a high school and she is very quirky and magical and she dances in the rain and plays the ukulele and she is very misunderstood by the normies. The narrator dates her, but realizes that he cannot be with her because deep down is afraid of not fitting in, so he dumps her and then regrets it forever. It is not a super bad book. I like the prose, but, despite the intentions of the author, the heroine is too much of a special snowflake, and her behavior often delves into creepy territory. The book itself had a sad face in the dedication page and a small note saying read the sequel, you will understand. It was crammed with notes in small script, and sometimes the letters had been traced several times over. All of the notes were very idealized descriptions of the heroine, about how magical and beautiful she was, about the things she did, etc. Some of the notes were also about the main character agonizing about staying with her or leaving her to fit in, or descriptions about how they made out, yuck. There were also drawings of the heroine, who looked like an idealized version of Sarah. I am not gonna lie, I laughed my ass off at this fucking manic pixie dream wannabe. My husband was less amused and more creeped out. He said that she was psycho and that he did not want that shit at home. I kinda forgot about the book for the following days, because last week was my week from hell and I had to work 70 hours, I normally work 30. Because apart from my job, I took a 2-week project working in-house for a company, and I organized an art exhibition on the weekend. Also, I got pretty bad health news from a close friend, think incurable and degenerative. So the topic of Sarah was out of my mind. Yesterday I finally had time to think about it and I got angry at that asshole. They have not met in 3 years. Who the fuck does this dweeb think she is, etc etc. I considered unblocking her briefly to tell her to stay the fuck away from us, but discarded the idea. Then I considered finding out her address and sending her a copy of Holes, by Louis Sachar, and 20 minimalist pepes printed between the pages, with a note, this is a riddle. If you solve it, I will leave my wife for you, love fiancé. Then I realized I would rather ignore her, so I threw the notes in the recycling bin and I put the book in a free box so somebody could take it home. That is all. No threats, no pictures, no positive pregnancy tests. It was anticlimactic but honestly it was a welcome distraction in a heavy week. I don't like that she has our current address, but I do not think she will be sending more stuff. If she does, we will tell her to piss up a rope. The funny thing is that I don't hate her. She is an asshole, but this is just too sad to hate. To mock okay but not to hate. TLDR, got the package more than a year after, when fiancé was not at home. I opened it with him on camera. It was pretty weird shit but ultimately harmless. Ignored and moved on. Thank you guys for the advice you gave in the previous post. Relevant comments. Comment, God, I read Stargirl when I was like 14. I associated with her for all of a week before realizing that she was definitely a try-hard manic pixie dream girl whose sole purpose in life was being more unique than anybody. OOP. I know, right. The cringe is real. I told my friends and they all died laughing. They decided to name the whole affair the unboxing. I don't think they will ever forgive me for not recording myself while opening the parcel. What makes me wonder is that it's been so long already. Like, almost 3 years. Come on, girl, get over it. Get a life. Move to Philly. Buy a loft. Start a noise band. Get 6 or 7 roommates. Eat hummus with them. Book some gigs. Paint. Smoke cloves. Listen to Animal Collective. Start some type of salsa company. Stay the hell away from married people who do not want anything to do with you, Makai. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.